And now, boys, it's time to find out what Dave Meltzer had to say.
That's right, it's time to find out what did Dave Meltzer say.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'd have to give that 5 stars.
Rumor has it that Mabel is going to be the third guy.
The question of where Bret Hart will end up is reaching a fever pitch. WWF has been planning for Hart to return at Survivor Series to face Steve Austin, but WCW has offered him at least 3 times more money in a guaranteed contract, and it's more money than he's ever made in wrestling. Hart has said before that he isn't interested. He isn't interested in returning to WWF unless they make him champion, which Vince has agreed to. I have a hard time believing that. Dave says Bret is in the best bargaining position of any wrestler in history, aside from Hogan. He's pretty much the only person in the business in a position right now to just sit back and take bids and probably come out making more than $1 million per year. And in the case of WCW's offer, more like $3 million per year, which WWF can't come close to matching. The WCW offer made many in WWF panic because at 39 years old and arguably in the late stages of his career, wow, people at 39 in the late stages of their career. Interesting. It's almost impossible offer to turn down, and many think that it's likely Bret will choose WCW. But money isn't Hart's main concern, and he's still weighing his options. Hart has told people that if the right acting job comes along, he would readily turn away from wrestling entirely and move on to the next stage of his life. He was recently in Los Angeles doing voiceovers for an episode of The Simpsons. Kev, what do you think of that?
That bit with the city, if he could get the right acting job, he'd leave wrestling. Fuck no. Like, if there's never been a more serious wrestler that takes it seriously than Bret Hart. I can't think of anyone even comes close to him, like as in the art form of the wrestling business and in the in the match he is a wrestler. Like, there's no way that I could see him. Oh, if I'm going to get an acting job, I'm gone. See ya. No, I don't see that whatsoever. I think Bret Hart was always born to be a wrestler, and that's what he does. So that bit I don't agree with at all. But I'm pretty sure if Bret Hart was just given an offer from WWF at the time, that maybe not being as much as WCW, I think he just wanted probably loyalty, and he probably would have took a lesser deal just to remain there. But
yeah,
I think Vince telling me he can just go. I think that probably. I think he just wanted loyalty, I guess.
Well, I mean, he did end up signing with WWF for less money because he wanted to be loyal. But I have a hard time believing that Bret's saying he won't sign unless they make him the champion. Like, that sounds really juvenile. Blade, anything to throw in there?
Nah, I mean, I think they're all really great points. I also think it would have been ill-advised knowing Bret Hart as an entertainer that, like, his strengths were in the ring. I would not have loved to have seen him as an actor. Being perfectly honest. But yeah, talk about a guy that loves the wrestling business and is like, sort of, I guess, one of the cornerstones of like modern day wrestling. Like, yeah, I could not see him having contemplated leaving for Hollywood at all.
Right. Yep. I'm in the same boat there. The next part. Ric Flair is expected to be out for the rest of the year due to a torn rotator cuff. So that's why he was written off on Nitro. He will turn 48 while he's out recovering.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck.
And after a 24-year career where his body has taken a beating every single night, it's expected that he'll need to be protected in the future if he wants to continue wrestling. Expected he will be given a Hogan-type schedule when he returns. It's expected. Where he will only work major shows and probably be more of a manager for the Horsemen. I believe he has several more world title reigns. And the plan is for Jeff Jarrett to take his place in the Horsemen when he joins the company.
None of these things happen. This is trash.
So I believe this Wrestling Observer was from. It's like It's come out after the Nitro where Jarrett's debuted, but only like a day after. So he's already written the whole thing and put it out. Um, but he's written the plan is for Jeff Jarrett to take his place when he joins the company. But the thing is, once he's actually written that, Jeff Jarrett's already in the company and already debuted, which I just thought was interesting. Do we have anything to follow up there, boys, on this Blade?
That's why it's wild that Flair was 48 years old, and knowing what we know now and how many runs he went on after that is even more insane.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like he ends up wrestling Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Like what year is that? Like 2005 or some shit? I don't know.
Yeah, and then he's running TNA afterward, and like just Jesus Christ. It's wild.
You think about it, like 48 here, like that's really old. Like Sting was wrestling till he was 62, wasn't he? Like isn't Goldberg 61 now or something?
58.
Yeah,
think,
like that's fuck, the wrestlers wrestle way longer these days than it was, depicted back then that this is really old. Kev, anything?
No, not too much. Just a side note about Flair. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this week he's just some fucking Reddit user just made up a story about him. Just is Ric Flair going around to bars and shitting in his pants and stuff like that. And I just see that internet wrestling losers just taking to this story and then just making fun of him and taking this whoever this person said it as gospel. This is the truth now, making up fake like Twitter quotes from Flair saying, "Oh, it's not Puma pants, it's semen or something in his pants." Shit like that. And now it's become like it's like fact that Flair's doing this. Like when I see this week, I was like, this modern wrestling fans are just the biggest fucking assholes I've ever seen. Like I've never seen people disrespect a legend like him so much. Like it's just horrible. I hate that story.
I hate all of these people. I
Like,
that's why I don't go on Twitter anymore. That's why I seldomly go on Reddit and read anything because there are so many fucking morons out there that say the most toxic horse shit that I've ever seen. I can't stand wrestling fans. They are the worst fan of any sort of thing that
oh
you could be a
man.
fan of. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
I was like, but that story this week, I was just like,
it's
and
piss
and
off.
it just I just see people commenting and making fun of him, making fun of it. Like, what
Get a
this guy,
life.
this guy's done more in probably a month in his whole in life than you guys have done in your whole, you know, like he does more in a month than you guys in your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, just I don't know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
fuck, get a life, you
Yeah,
losers.
no, fair enough. Fair enough. So here's the next bit. And I know we've been doing it, we've been recording a while here, guys. But this is some okay, I'll just get to it. Dave decides to examine the numbers behind the NWO angle.
Oh, here we go.
Without a doubt, the NWO storyline is the most talked about angle in years, and many people credit it for what finally put WCW ahead of WWF as the number one promotion in the US. But when you look at the before and after numbers, things aren't quite what they seem. Dave looks at several months before NWO and the several months after NWO and compares them. Pre NWO, apparently, WCW actually averaged slightly bigger crowds at house shows. 3,592 average before, 3,063 average after. So when it comes to actually drawing paying crowds to see shows, the NWO angle actually hasn't done anything in that regard. And in fact, there was a slight decrease. Since Hogan won the title, and this is all about house shows apparently, it hasn't been defended at house shows, so that may be part of the reason. Oh, you think? But even before Hogan won it, when Giant was champion and defending the title at every house show, it didn't make a dent. So the belt itself doesn't seem to have much of an effect on drawing crowds. Then why bring up the thing with Hogan then? If it didn't matter before, then why you bring it up? Anyway, I'll keep going. Monday Nitro TV ratings are up slightly since the NWO angle.
Come on.
Averaged 2.20 rating before, now averaging 2.23 after. Aren't we getting 3.5s, 3.3s?
Are we getting record numbers? We're saying this is a record. It's a new record. Like, come on.
Yeah, they've had the record a few times since then. So if the average is 2.23 and is that implementing all the ratings prior to the NWO, or is it not? Because if it's not, then you're probably implementing ratings from early on in the angle when maybe the ratings weren't jumping up super high, but it's high now at this point. Anyway, ratings usually go down during the summer, and the fact that they went up is actually pretty impressive and seems to correlate right with the moment Scott Hall debuted. So yes, the NWO definitely draws TV viewers, but that isn't the only reason. This is also about the same time Nitro expanded to 2 hours, and that helps the averages. The ratings increase is a combination of both factors, but is also slightly offset by the fact that both the Saturday and Sunday TV show ratings have decreased. Pay-per-view buy rates are also up slightly since the NWO debut, but not significantly. If you factor in the money that Hall and Nash are making, the buy rate increase doesn't cover it. So, for instance, WCW is making an extra $48,000 a month due to the uptick in pay-per-view buys, but Hall and Nash's salary is $60,000 per month each. So basically, they're paying more for the NWO guys than they're making back on pay-per-view. Basically, WCW is losing money on the deal because Hall and Nash haven't been a big enough pay-per-view draw to offset what it costs to have them. Dave compares it to Hulk Hogan joining WCW in '94 and says the difference there was night and day. Hogan basically doubled WCW's pay-per-view buys when he debuted. The NWO angle hasn't had nearly the same effect. Okay. Blade. He just so sick of this shit.
Oh man. I think the thing that like bugs me is this sort of like, and it's something that I think bugs me with like a lot of the dirt sheet type stuff, is it's sort of like this qualification of like opinion as fact, when it's like, well, you're not really like providing us, in some instances you're providing us with numbers and stats and figures, but like even then it's such a surface level breakdown of them, right? Like, also you're not really explaining what your metrics for measurement are within those things as well. So like, sure, we can all take data and sort of extrapolate what we want from it if we're trying to make a point about like X, Y, and Z. It's just, man, it's I don't know, like, I don't know what his problem is. Like, who hurt you, Dave? Like, who hurt you?
He's hell bent. He's hell bent because Eric probably doesn't talk to him. He's hell bent on bending things, changing the narrative slightly, pushing out his narrative out there, trying to brainwash the observer subscriber into believing that this is true. So they go on the message forums and they say, well, Dave Meltzer said this. He's talking about buy rates making an extra $48,000 a month due to the uptick in pay-per-view buys. Starrcade 95 did 75,000 pay-per-view buys. Super Brawl 210,000. Uncensored 96 250,000. That had Hogan and Savage in that big doomsday cage against all of the fucking Dungeon of Doom and the Horsemen. Slamboree 96 155. Great American Bash 170. Okay, since Bash at the Beach 96, 250,000, 220,000, 230,000. And then the next pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc, it goes up again. So they're only making $48,000 extra over like several, like tens of thousands of extra pay-per-view buys. How much does a pay-per-view cost? How much does it cost? $30, $40? So tens of thousands of buys is only making them $48,000 a month. Fuck off, mate. Kev, do you have anything to add?
No, you broke it down pretty simply there. Like the way you did it there, it's like you gave us the pre, you gave us the after. We could see there on a graph, it would do this, it would go up. That's all we need to know here. Like it's, yeah, we've seen this before. Like with him, like he doesn't like Hogan. He doesn't want to accept or he doesn't want to admit that this angle is really working. He really wants to shit on it and it's getting hot and he wants to sort of put some water in and make it like, oh, let everyone know. No, it's not as good as you think it is. And try to, yeah, as you said, Carl, brainwash his minions into thinking that it's, come on, bro. It's like the ratings are going up, the pay-per-views are going up. It's a good chance everything else is probably pretty much doing the same thing. So
now you think about it, we're in October, early October here. Bash at the Beach 96 was July, August, September, October. It's been 4 months. And I can see the pay-per-view buys after Halloween Havoc 96, and they consistently go up and up and up and stay in that echelon, right? Sometimes it takes a little while for the effect to come into play.
yeah,
I remember Vince Russo said once, like, you have to, like, you got to give this like 12 to 18 months to build, because you're not going to get amazing ratings overnight. You got to be consistent month to month, month to month, month to month, and eventually you'll see it all grow. And you know, I just think Meltzer's just so hell-bent on trying to squash this because he doesn't like this style of wrestling, so he has to put it out there that it's not working. And here's the last bit that I'm going to say here, guys, which I think is the richest and the stupidest fucking thing I have ever read.
here we go.
In the Observer, okay? Remember like how I was talking about a few weeks ago, the Horsemen are all upset because they're getting, fucking squashed and, they're not happy with the situation. There's apparently heat between Hall and Nash and Hulk Hogan. Hall and Nash are reportedly tired of playing background characters to Hogan and are also upset about how much money Hogan is making compared to them in 4 months. Kev, what have you got for me?
Is Hall and Nash already signed their deal where if someone else comes in, they get the bump up?
The favored nations.
This is already established, right?
Yeah.
So
they're not going to get Hogan money, but I think anyone else who comes in after them, if that person's being paid more, then their deal is matched to what that person's being paid.
Yeah.
So that's why they're probably like, oh, I hope Brett signs with.
I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal. Why would they be upset? There's no way.
I don't understand where would this come from?
I think even Hall and Nash at this point would know that Hogan is, he's.
They're not stupid. They know he's he's making fucking bank on this thing. Why would they suddenly get upset over something that they already pre-existingly knew?
No.
Blade.
Not buying it.
Either.
When they're all doing business and they're making as much money as they would be, like, also the funny thing is like playing secondary background characters. I'm like, they're the guys that fucking were there at Ground Zero. They started the thing. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And when Hogan's not there, they're front and center. Like, holy shit, man.
I just don't, like, where are you getting this from? Like, how this is such like making shit up and trying to cause a fucking problem. Like,
we've seen this last week as well when we were saying the Nasty Boys were upset because on house shows that they're not. I don't know. What was it? Yeah. So it seems like the people close to Hogan, he's sort of trying to put a little, something in there to make it cause some
Why?
sort of disruption or something. It's
Why be so hateful that you have to try and
Yeah.
fucking cause so much shit? Like, or either that or someone's like fucking talking to him and telling him bullshit.
maybe Hogan did above the love sponge and shagged his wife at some point. But in all seriousness, I'm hearing more stuff about Hogan and not is still in the hospital and not doing too well. So I hope that he is okay.
I do too.
So
But yeah, the last thing I wanted to say is that I don't see how Hall and Nash are in any position to feel as if they're playing background characters. Like maybe Six might feel like he's playing a background character at the moment, but
definitely.
you know, maybe even to an extent, Giant, he's not really been too much at the forefront of what's been going on here. He's been doing little bits here and there, but Hall and Nash have been pretty fucking like front and center. A lot of the times Hogan's not even like out there. He's doing other things. But anyway, whatever. That brings us to the end of what Dave Meltzer had to say. Do either of you have anything else to add here?
Nah, I'm all good, man. That
Happy
was
Pappy?
yeah.
Fuck me, man.